Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome. I had to leave that intro raw. The intro to Battlefield Bad Company 2 brings back a lot of those memories for me. Whether it's a familiar intro to you or not, you can't deny that the bass in those tracks definitely makes you feel something. Like something great is coming. And that's what Battlefield Bad Company 2 was about. For a good chunk of people, it flew under the radar. And that's what I have for you today. Something I feel a lot of people did not get to properly enjoy. The Vietnam DLC for Battlefield Bad Company 2. The Vietnam DLC wasn't just some theme maps and some theme guns. No. This was basically a full-fledged game released as additional content. Everything was new. It had its own main screen, which, when you entered it, started immediately playing one of the most iconic Vietnam War era songs of all time. Fortunate Son by Clearwater Creedence Revival, as you heard earlier. In fact, this game was loaded with nearly 50 songs and other cultural references, things that brought an entire generation from their chairs and couches to the controversial times of the Vietnam War. The loading screens between games featured mock radio broadcasts, highlighting your defeat or victory, and its impact on the overall mission in Vietnam. As you'd enter vehicles, the songs would start playing, and you couldn't help but feel as if you'd entered a time machine. You felt like you were Forrest Gump on that Huey, flying over the jungle and rice paddies of Vietnam. Everything about this game was designed to be immersive. The sound, the screen shake as explosions rattled off next to you, burning foliage, the dust kicking up around you. Wait, did I say game? I meant DLC. This was an excellent expansion to an already excellent game. For me, the Bad Company 2 Vietnam DLC stands alone as the greatest expansion to an FPS of all time. When compared to its rivals at the time, and even to games now, there is no comparison. Games like Call of Duty World War II are releasing with 9 multiplayer maps, one of which is just a rehash from Call of Duty 2. Battlefield 1 has themed maps with themed guns, but it's the same game. Nothing changes that much from DLC pack to DLC pack. Vietnam was superior. Iconic weapons like the M16A1, AK-47, M60 LMG, the Thumper, all given new life in the Frostbite engine. Iconic vehicles we had never gotten to use before. Maps that looked and felt like they were pulled straight from the Vietnam War. I'm serious, it was like a different game. But then again, maybe the Vietnam DLC being treated as basically a separate game actually hurt it in the end. When I sign on to PC games like Modern Warfare 2, Battlefield 3, the Bad Company 2 base game, etc., I never have an issue joining a game. In fact, I usually have the ability to choose what server or game type, what mode I want to play. Vietnam is a far cry from this. When going into the separate game portal, refreshing the server list, you will find at most 50 players playing this game worldwide. That means one full server and a partially filled server at best. In fact, one of those servers is actually shutting down within the next month. So if you have a Vietnam DLC itch to scratch, I'd highly suggest scratching it sooner than later. This game is dead, and I don't see it making a comeback. Multiplayer games eventually die, the player base leaves, or the company shuts down the servers. In the latter, at least a small community still survives. And that's almost what it's like on Vietnam. When playing this game, trying to get some background footage, I couldn't help but notice. It was the same guys game in and game out, day in and day out. The surviving player base of this game is so small that these people actually know each other. They know who's good at what, and they know how their counterparts play. I couldn't help but sort of envy that. This dying game's small player base has breeded a small band of comrades. The in-game chat consisted of the usual banner and trash talk, but there was always a personal side to it. As a familiar face joined the server, the chat lit up, asking them, hey, what was up, how long they were going to play that day, etc. For me, it was sad to be limited on what I could play, but in this sadness I recognize this small group of players exists merely as a byproduct. I guess I don't really know where I was going with this video, but I thought I'd have to share this experience. Maybe if you have an old game you used to play online, I'd actually highly suggest just going back to it. Scratch your itch for nostalgia. Maybe you'll even find a small but thriving community there. Even if the official servers are down, there's always hope for a custom player hosted server. Put on your nostalgia glasses and just take a trip down memory lane. Thanks for watching. I'm Pixel. If you liked the video, like it, share it, post it to your blog or wherever you like to share things. Catch you in the next one.